Okay. We started out touring in 1985 with cartoonists across America. It was my idea that we could use comics to get people into reading. So this came about because I interviewed Wally Famous Amos in 1985. And so this is the issue of Vocal Jam that we interviewed Wally. And this is Maury Turner, Sergio Aragones, Charles Schultz, and myself, because Charles Schultz was the very first cartoonist in 1985 to endorse our tour. And after that, everybody else came in and we're off and running. So we started off with Charles Schultz, and then later on, Barbara Bush. She was vice president's wife, and she endorsed our work. And we later went to the White House. We also painted with Barbara Bush in the Library of Congress. And this is a picture. Oh, well. Anyway, okay. Anyway, we ended up painting 2,000 murals around the world since 1985, and this was a mural that we did on a trash truck in Northampton, Massachusetts, with Kevin Eastman and his whole crew. There was quite a few artists there. This is Mark and Molly Bodie. They were at the time living in Northampton. This is the truck. That's Rick Beach. Does anyone know Rick Beach? His Swampton.
I know you probably.
This is Mr. T, and we painted in a 54-foot semi-truck in 1993 in the Philadelphia Convention Center. Mr. T. And then we brought the truck in 1994 to Washington, D.C., where we finished it. This is Sacramento when Pete Wilson was governor. This is Budapest, Hungary. This is Mexico City.
So they've done murals all over the world.
Yeah, this is Louise Harrison, George Harrison's older sister. She went to Mexico. This is Taiwan. This is Sergio Aragones and I. We were in Germany, in Frankfurt, at the book fair. This is Frankfurt. This is also Frankfurt. This is in Malaysia. This is Malaysia.
In Malaysia, in the Muslim religion, you can't portray figures and people and animals, but they changed the rules. Children are allowed to do cartoon characters. So the mural we did with the children in Malaysia could have cartoon characters, but this mural on the outside of the building had to just have a sun because it could, you couldn't show figures.
Yeah. It's a weird world, but.
And this was in Israel.
Yeah, this is in Israel, and these two kids that were 7 years old, they painted with me all day, and we did the mural in Hebrew, Arabic, and English.
Phil's murals around the world, he usually writes "Building a World of Readers, Artists, and Dreamers" on the top of the mural. So in this particular one, they did it in the 3 languages, and the kids were trying to teach Phil to say colors, the different colors in Hebrew, which was really hilarious.
I'm not good with languages. This is in Denmark, yes. Somewhere else. These 2 women came to the mural at McDonald's in 2014, and they said, "Oh, we want to bring you to Denmark." And I said, "Oh, well, you have to get sponsors. Somebody has to pay for the trip." And they came from a small town of 5,000 people. But in April, they emailed me. That was November of 2014. In April of 2015, they emailed me, "We have everything: sponsors, hotels, car rental, food, everything, airfare.
So that's some of the kids.
Yeah, so we painted 3 days. They built a wall in the park.
This is both sides of the wall. We did a mural on both sides.
Yeah. With 95th graders. This is elementary school in San Bernardino.
So that's just a little bit of the background of Phil doing murals all over the world, but the one that him and Rory have been working on is local to us in San Bernardino. And you can just look at this and then you see what it's going to show. So you want to start how he decided to do the mural.
I had a stroke in 2000, what was it, 2011? Anyway, I had a stroke and I couldn't draw, I couldn't handle a pencil or anything. And so I had to, the doctor said you have to do some therapy, but I'm not good following orders. So I started with my left hand, and this gentleman, he's now 85 or 84, Jim Valdez, he asked me, he met me at the library, at San Bernardino Library, and he said, I have next door to the McDonald's museum is a military museum. So he asked me to paint this logo on the military museum. I kept telling him I don't know if I could paint because I had a stroke, but he didn't, anything I said, he didn't listen to what I was saying. So I went up there and painted this logo, and it was winter. It was really cold, and the whole time I was looking at this wall across from me.
100-foot long blank wall.
So I decided I would paint a mural on the 100-foot wall, and so two mornings a week for the last 5 years I've been painting on this wall with Rory, and we had other artists come and help us. So this is what we did.
So a little bit of the background, this is at the site of the very first McDonald's before Ray Kroc bought it. The McDonald's brothers started it. There really are McDonald's brothers. And this is a museum at the site of the original one, and that's where the murals are.
And that's all been made famous now in a new movie called The Founder. Michael Keaton plays Ray Kroc, who wasn't a very nice guy.
Richard McDonald.
And,
who was a nice guy.
Yeah, the McDonald's brothers were really nice guys. So this tells a true story. So this is how we started.
I'd like to point out that how Phil and Linda and I met. It was actually through Ray Bradbury about 10 years ago. Ray Bradbury was going to be doing an appearance at the San Bernardino Library, and I was interested in seeing them, and got in touch with Linda to find out how, and through her I met Phil, and we had done about maybe a dozen other murals at the Peterson Art Museum, Automotive Museum in
Los Angeles.
Running Springs at an art gallery there, some other. And when I found out he was doing this mural, man, I said, yeah, I want to be there for this. So
This is the very first side.
it all started off, the first thing Phil drew was a drawing of a Corvette, and it went from there. This I got up on the roof. Now this, I looked at the trim here, and it looked like a big M to me. So I got up there with the yellow paint, and that's a tribute to the big M that the McDonald's brothers were forced to put on the sign in front of their restaurant after Ray Kroc bought them out and found out that he didn't own that particular property. So yeah, it's all covered in the movie The Founder, and I really recommend it. This was the ribbon cutting ceremony for the mural.
For the first side, that's before they decided to paint all four sides of the building. This was the first side. It's the history of San Bernardino. Famous people who came from San Bernardino and stuff.
This is our previous mayor, Pat Morris. He helped paint the mural. These are some of our earliest sponsors: the mug, Hanson's Soda, and Splash Kingdom at Pharaoh's. By the way, if you want to be a sponsor on the mural, for $500, we'll put your logo on one of our truck trailers, and we'll put a quarter-page ad in Local Jam magazine.
This is Wyatt Earp. The Earp family came to San Bernardino in 1864. Wyatt was 16 years old, and his father was a member of what's now the Historical Society of San Bernardino. So the Earp families stayed in the area, but these three brothers, they went to Tombstone, Dodge City, became famous. But when one of the brothers, I think it was Morgan, was killed in Tombstone, they sent the body back to San Bernardino, but that's not, in the movies, they just show, they put the body out of the train and bye. They don't really say where he's going, but anyway.
Mountain View Cemetery.
Yeah, so he's buried in San Bernardino. Edith Head graduated, she was born in San Bernardino, 1897. She won 8 Academy Awards. And so we have all these famous people coming from San Bernardino. We got to learn. Will Rogers was his last appearance was in San Bernardino in 1935. And what's really interesting about Will Rogers coming to San Bernardino, California Theater, still there, his opening act was a young man who played guitar, and he sang. And the young man's name is Leonard Sly. And Leonard Sly changed his name after Will was killed in a plane crash to Roy Rogers. Yeah.
So, in the process of doing these murals, they've been told by local people or learned so much history of the area, so much pop culture references of the area, and put it on the mural. It's really a good learning place to bring kids or to bring people that it's really like a living mural, living history.
That's why we call it the living mural, because every time we think we're almost completed with it, somebody comes along and they tell us a little bit of San Bernardino or Route 66 history or fast food history.
Speaking of that, that's
Rory
added.
Now, the reason I added the Jetsies here, Clayton Curtin was Hanna-Barbera's musical director. He wrote the theme songs for Yogi Bear, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Johnny Quest, Scooby-Doo, Josie and the Pussycats, all of those cartoons. He graduated San Bernardino High School in 1940.
Yeah.
And then maybe it's a good time to tell about your favorite person on the mural.
Chester Carlson was the previous slide.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh, right there.
Chester Carlson graduated in 1924. He's my favorite guy because I tell kids, this is how poor Chester Carlson was. In 1923, his mom, he was in 11th grade, his mother died. His father and him had to go live in an abandoned chicken coop. Really, I've never heard of anyone. I've read all these life stories all my life. This guy had to go live in an abandoned chicken coop. This guy was so broke, so poor. He worked 5 jobs. He put himself through Riverside College. He later went to Caltech, where the Big Bang Theory, where those guys, they go to school. Well, he graduated with a degree in physics. Couldn't get work. It was a depression. So he went to New York. He decided to be a lawyer. Couldn't get work. 1937, he was in a law library copying a law book by hand because he didn't have money to buy books. He's copying them by hand, and he says, someone should invent something to make a copy of this page. This is crazy. I'm copying this book by hand. He invented the technology that became Xerox. In 1958, in 1937, he invents the technology for black and white copies, color copies, and 3D copies. This is incredible. It takes 20 years. But he finds a small company up in upstate New York. They changed their name to Xerox later. They were called Halide. And it took him 20 years. Next 20 years. So he's starving to death the whole time.
And they invent, the first copy comes off the machine in 1958. Chester gets 1/32 of a penny every time anybody buys a copy. And by the way, he first went to IBM, he went to 3M Company, went to all these Kodak, all these big firms. Turned out, they all said, what would anybody have a use for making a copy? So he gets a small company.